Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. And today I'm going to do installment number 3 of the 2 videos I did prior called Key Signature Nonsense. And I've gotten a lot, and I knew I was going to get a lot of interaction regarding that topic, because there's some traditionalists, the theory people that believe that in order to play a song, you got to know what key you're in, which is absolutely not true. And I got a recent comment from Derek, and I thank Derek and everybody who has commented and has responded and interacted with me doing these videos, because it's important that we interact to come to some type of logical solution or solution. So I'm going to read Derek's message, read it word for word. Knowing the key signature keeps you inside the song. If you do not know the key the song is in, you are playing around the song on the outside. I personally don't know what that's supposed to mean. If anybody out there knows what that means, please leave me a comment, because it kind of just doesn't make any sense, you know. And I'm not trying to bash or be negative, but the other comment that I got that made me do video number 2 was kind of on the same lines, as far as it's a statement that kind of doesn't make any sense, because the other statement was key signature and nonsense, as you call it. It helps you when you're on stage struggling. What does that mean? The only reason why you would struggle on stage is because you haven't learned your part. You haven't rehearsed and memorized the chords that you need to play in any given song. That's the only time you're going to have problems on stage. So again, the responses that I'm getting, they're just not making any sense. And again, I'm not trying to be negative or bash anybody, but if anybody understand that statement that I just read to you guys, know what that means, please inform me, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Because I'm going to give you a good example, and this is quite simple, very simple. I'm going to put chords up here, somewhere up here, and it's the chords to The Temptations, Just My Imagination. And I'm sure just about everybody on the planet has heard that song. That song only has actually 3 chords. Doing the verses and the chorus is just C major, rocking back and forth to D minor. And then on the bridge is C major to G7. Now, you tell me, if you are a beginner guitar player or intermediate or professional, you know those chords. You know how to play those chords. So if you know how to play those chords, you know how to play that song. And knowing how to play that song, the need to know what key that song is in to play it? Absolutely not. Because again, I'm going to say this, and I say it to impress upon you, not to impress you, that I've looked around on YouTube and I got more collectively videos singly for more music covers than anybody on YouTube, period. And not only that, but also the most diversified, you know, because I'm playing everything. 60s stuff, 50s, 80s, 90s, jazz, R&B, rock, pop, you name it, blues. And I'm able to do that because of the way that I approach music. Because again, just like most of you guys, I went to countless amount of music teachers, and they basically taught me the same thing and stuff that I would never use. Because here's a pretty interesting story. When I worked in corporate America, I worked for the government. I was an analyst, and we had got a new boss. So whenever you get a new boss, you have a meeting, you know. I'm the new guy, you know, blah, blah, blah. So he shared a very interesting story with us. And actually one of the best bosses I ever had. Really down-to-earth guy, very fair. And he said that he was promoted to work as the manager in statistics. So, of course, the manager job when he comes in is to do an overview of the operation, see how it's running, and see if he can make any changes that would improve the productivity of these departments. So he immediately noticed a certain area within that department that they were doing something that was kind of outdated. And he kept going to the people that were doing it and said, well, why are you doing it this way? And they said, go ask the other guy, because the other guy told me to do it this way. So he kept going to about 4 deep. Then he got to the top guy, you know, who initiate all of the procedures to everybody else. And he asked him, he said, why are you doing it this way? And his answer was, I don't know, other than we've been used to doing it this way. So therefore, we just kept doing it this way. So I thought that was a pretty interesting story, because it kind of ties in with that theory thing that everybody, for the most part, has been taught that theory is an extremely important part. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to totally abandon it, because when you're playing, old school jazz, you do need to know your key signatures, because they're not working within a structure other than we're working within the key. So that's totally understandable and it's warranted. And when you're doing perhaps Broadway musicals and things of that nature, opera stuff, but if you're just a guy doing R&B, pop, and rock, playing covers, it's really not necessary to really try to incorporate that into your playing, because you don't need it. If you know the chorus to the song, that's all you need to know. But again, unfortunately, we've been conditioned to believe that in order to do this stuff, you got to do this stuff. And it's just so unfortunate, because to me, the focus should be on this structure of song. And a shout out to Nathaniel, because you kind of started a brainstorm in my head, because you asked me, did I have a DVD or I should put one out for song structure. And I do touch on it in DVD number 5, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to devote a whole DVD around that topic, because that's important. That's very important. It's more important than to be worrying about what key you're in, because real simple when it comes to learning and figuring out a song. If you can isolate the bass notes, you can match up the chords to that bass note in any given song. That's how I do it when I don't have the sheet music. But I am going to put together a DVD number 7, and I'm going to create a DVD number 8, because I'm going to do them in pairs. And it's going to be centered around the whole song structure thing, because that's more important. Because guess what? When you learn to play an instrument, what are you going to be playing your instrument in? In songs. So wouldn't it make sense to be able to understand structure of song? Because this is how I look at it when I decipher songs now. I sit down and I map them out. Okay, what are they doing in the verses? What chords? What are they doing in the chorus? What chords? What are they doing in the bridge or modulation? That's how I think. That's how I do it. That's how I'm able to put together so many videos so quickly, because my approach, as opposed to trying to figure out what key I'm in and then that key have these chords and let me try to figure it out. It's a waste of time. My channel speaks for itself. I got more videos, music covers than anybody on YouTube, and then there's so many different styles of music that I play. So apparently what I'm doing is working, and I don't waste any time trying to figure out what key I'm in, because I don't need to know that. So again, I thought I'd put together this DVD number 3 addressing it, because again, if anybody can understand that statement that I read, please inform me what does it mean, because I don't know what it means, inside of a tune. I mean, either you know the chorus to the song or you don't. I mean, it gets no simpler than that. But unfortunately, we tend to make things more difficult, because we refuse to break tradition. Like the story I shared with you about my boss, inquiring about why are we doing it this way and this is outdated. And the answer was, well, we've been used to doing it this way and this is the only way we've been doing it. So until next time, take care and thanks for watching.